stock markets remain flat as another day goes by with little to no update on the news. I think the market's still trying to digest some of the market headlines, which is the Fed rate decision and their future plans for that. So the stock market has been kind of mixed, but however, we do see a slight increase in today in our portfolio. However, it's mainly coming from the American Airlines, which normally in the morning the price isn't as efficient. So then there's just a huge price gap between the buy and sell sides. So currently it says that we have a profit about $63, but I don't think that's going to stay for now. What's going to wind up happening is that currently this price is 17 cents and 23 cents. I think that it will actually go down or start to become more of a parity play where it's like 17, 18 cents, like where there's a 1 cent wide spread, and then that'll decrease the total profit that we have. But we do see that the short side for the $17 put has actually received a $23 increase, which is also helping out my position on American Airlines, which is great. So that means that we can start lowering our cost basis for this long side that I have right here. And hopefully that'll continue by the end of the year, or when this option expires, we'll be able to break even. Or if this price does decide to skyrocket, we'll be able to have an increase our portfolio significantly. One thing that continues to just climb up, and it's actually making me kind of mad, is this Ford position. The Ford position went up another 65 cents upon no new news other than Tesla has decided to postpone yet again one of their EV trucks, which is expected. I think this isn't the first time that they postponed something. A lot of their cars have been postponed. Primarily, I think for this Cybertruck, though, the main reason for this change is because the Cybertruck is supposed to be built in the Giga Berlin factory. However, that hasn't been made yet. And on top of the global chain supply shortages, it's actually really hard to build something if you don't have a building that's supposed to ramp up production. So they decided to extend the Tesla Cybertruck indefinitely while Ford is catching up. So that is a catalyst for Ford. They do see an increase in the stock based on that news, with anticipated higher demand for their F-150 electric truck. So I understand that price going up, but I still don't see why it would need to keep going up. It has actually just kind of ballooned the past couple of days. Started off at the $13 mark, went up all the way to 20. Kind of hovered around. Once I heard news of the Cybertruck postponing, it actually skyrocketed up to $25. Before that, though, the pre-order increases jumped it from $21 to $24. So this price keeps going up. About $1.50 now into a loss position on the call side. So what did I do? I had to roll it up. I had to roll up my put side. So the put side was over here at $20. Or 20 cents, sorry. And I bought it back for about that price. Sold it for originally, I think, $40. Well, let's look at the options price train actually. So what ended up happening was I originally sold the Strangle, which is the call and put side, for 72 cents, which is $72. Remember, you have to multiply the 72 cents by 100 because it's 100 shares that we're entering into. So 72 cents. I rolled up the untested side for the put from $17 to $20 for an extra 20 cents of credit. Saw this price continue to skyrocket, and now it's at $25. And I rolled up the $20 put up to the 23 for another 49 cents in credit. So if we look here, if you ever use the TastyTrade platform, this chain tab, when you click on this right here, click on the chain for that stock that you're looking at, you could see your position in real time, how much credit you've received. So since TastyTrade is primarily relying on credit in order to offset your cost basis and for your profits, their theory is that if you continue to add more credit to your cost basis, you're lowering the amount of loss that you receive time over time. So what ended up happening is I started off with 72 cents of credit, kept adding more as the price kept going against me. And now, if you look here, I have a total of $1.48 in credit right now, meaning that I could go $1.48 deep into the money, and then eventually I'll be able to break even. So continue, assuming that this price stays at this range or continues to go up, I can continue to roll up indefinitely until the credit received equals the amount of loss that I have. So each time I roll up or roll out in time, so right now we're at the 36-day mark. If I roll up, if this reaches the 20-day mark and then the price still hovers around 21.12 and this cost has gone down, this loss has gone down about maybe $40-$50, I could continue to roll forward and collect more credit. So adding more to this green pile and lowering my cost basis, so that way if this price were to eventually drop, which maybe just a one-off event, this mark right here, which is saying what I can currently sell my position for, this price, if the price were to drop, this total loss, which is still dynamic, meaning it could change, it could drop down to where my cost basis, which if I did nothing at all and stayed at 72 cents, I would have to go down. This have to go down all the way to 72 cents for me to break even. However, since I kept rolling forward or rolling my untested side for credits, I've been collecting more premium on the side. So now instead of it being at 72 cents to break even, now I have break even at 48 cents, which means that this total loss would have to drop down about another 11 or $1.40 just about, or $1.30 just about, in order for me to break even. So that's a much better chance of breaking even. In the off chance that Ford decides to drop in price, now all I have to do is break even at $1.48 versus 72 cents. So that's the reason why we roll the untested side. Assuming that this price continues to stay stagnant, we can break even at a much lower, or at a much higher stock price than we would have if we stayed at 72 cents and just stayed at the strangle. So we'll continue to monitor that. I feel like Ford's going to be a position that we have for a long time. Consider us a long-term trader, #long-term trader, and we just keep this in the side. Let's see. But everything else seems like it's pretty fine. I mean, everything's still going according to plan. Macy's continued to increase the profitability. I wonder if there's anything else that we need to adjust our cost basis on. It doesn't seem like it at the moment. Our delta's still around 20, which I want to keep it slightly bullish, considering that the S&P has still reached new highs. And so I'm under the assumption that we're in a bullish market until we're not. I know the price has dropped, and the stock market has been kind of sideways as we've gone through 2022, but it seems like for the most part it's still going to be slightly bullish. Once it stops being bullish in the next cycle, I will go back to neutral, because it seems like with the rate hikes it is putting a fear into the market. So we'll have to continue to adjust our positions and see what's going on directionally. And if that's the case, because it seems like currently, if you look at the VIX, and the VIX, by the way, is a good indication to say like how the market is thinking about the future, and it's hovering around $17 or $18 right now. So it went up slightly, but that is still pretty low compared to the rest of the market. So again, I think this platform started to crash again, but ignore the background chart, focus on this inside chart. So currently we see that it did skyrocket upon anticipation of the Jerome Powell news, and then went up for a little bit and dropped back down. So we see that it's been hovering around its lows for the past almost year, 9 months. And so meaning that if the S&P does decide to drop down, then this VIX is going to skyrocket up. And so if that's the case, we want to be prepared, because if I stay bullish and this VIX goes up and the stock market is crashing, a lot of these positions will go down. And then I think we saw that earlier in the year where my whole position, I started losing like $300, $400. And so the next cycle, I think I'll become more neutral, where this delta will be, instead of 18, we'll keep it at 0, and we'll focus on collecting theta as we see the stock market and see which direction it wants to go. And so that's kind of my game plan for the future. And I think that that's warranted considering the market does not know what it wants to do at this moment. But it seems like with the current VIX at 1780, markets are still complacent at the moment, but that could change any second. So, but at the same time, that's my philosophy right now. We're gonna just stay bullish until we're proven otherwise. And so that's pretty much it. I think we still have a few more days to go. So we're at the 36 mark. TastyTrade says that around the 20-day mark is when we usually make our decisions, unless we're tested heavily, which in this case only Ford is really tested heavily at the moment, which it's $1.20 into the money. And so if it's tested heavily, we will adjust our position, especially if it's a naked position. If it is not being tested, though, we'll just keep our positions open until the 20-day mark, and we'll make a decision there whether or not we want to extend duration, or if we want to just close the position, collect the loss or profit, and then enter into a new one. So that's the game plan for now. We do see that the profits are starting to drop, which is normal. It's 732 where I'm at right now. So the prices in the morning when they first open, there's not too much trading activity, so it is pretty illiquid, causing massive fluctuations in the prices for options particularly. And so now we see the profit, the P now starting to normalize. And so as we see start to enter into around 20, and see American Airlines still dropping down about $20 now. I think it was about 60 when we first started. So actually, when I first woke up, this thing was about $200 profit. So that's what I'm saying. I tried to ignore this one because the price is highly inefficient. There's a lot of illiquidity on the long side, so my profits do tend to fluctuate with American Airlines. But that's it for now. I'll continue to watch the market to see what's going on. However, it seems like market is still kind of confused. So at this rate, I'll conclude it here. We'll just see what's going on in the future. I'll update you guys if anything else happens. All right. And don't forget, if you guys like this, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. We share it with other people to see if this is interesting, to see how I think through a trade and adjust my positions for something that's being tested. So feel free to share this if you guys find this useful. All right. And thank you guys again for all the support, and I hope to see you guys in the future.